The city of Palo Alto is trying again to come up with a parking plan that works for its many neighborhoods. KPIX5's Keit Do is in Palo Alto, where both neighbors and drivers are frustrated.
If you ever need to park in Palo Alto, consider yourself warned. Make sure to read the fine print first. In College Terrace, you can park in 2-hour chunks once per day, per block from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In Evergreen Park, you're restricted to 2-hour intervals between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. RPP permits exempt. We'll get to that in a minute. In Crescent Park, park all day as long as you want, except between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. On and on it goes. Every part of the city developed its own rules over time, and as a result, its own application process, vendors, and so on. It is a patchwork, to say the least. Some owners are allocated 1 permit, some get 2, others get 4. Even the RPPs, the residential parking permit themselves, don't even look alike. But after today's big city council meeting, that could all change. An independent consultant has made 35 recommendations on how to improve the city's residential parking program. The city is now feeling the effects of explosive job growth.
Well, it's been an economic boon, but the infrastructure to support all that job growth has not kept up. It's because developers hate to build parking because it costs money. And we allowed them to do that. And as a result, you had a huge influx of commercial parked cars into the local neighborhoods.
Mayor Eric Filseth says topping the list, getting the application process itself uniform and fair across the board. And that includes putting much of the process online.
It's simpler to administer, and quite frankly, it's probably fair.
Neighbor Robert Kennelly has lived in Palo Alto for 50 years and applies for a parking permit once a year. He'd like to see a day where the streets are empty for at least a few hours.
I hate to make things more complicated, but it would be nice if we had 1 or 2 days a month when we'd be sure that the street would get swept.
The mayor says now is the time for cities all across the Bay Area to do the hard, tedious work of infrastructure investments in housing, roads, and yes, parking. Infrastructure investment is just not sexy.
That's our job as government, is to let the tech startups do the sexy things and we do the non-sexy things.